Imagine you're at a party or a high-stakes meeting. You speak, but people look right through you. You share an idea, and it's met with silence, only for someone else to say the exact same thing 5 minutes later and get all the credit. Most people think they have a talent problem or a personality problem. But the truth? You have a resonance problem. Success in life is 15% professional knowledge and 85% your ability to connect with other humans. Today, we are decoding the source code of human connection. We're diving into the 24 laws of Dale Carnegie's masterpiece, Connect to Win. Carnegie wasn't just an author. He was the original people whisperer. He understood that we aren't logical creatures. We are creatures of emotion, pride, and a desperate need to feel important. We've broken these 24 laws into 5 levels of influence. If you want to stop being a ghost in the room and start being the person everyone wants to talk to, pay attention. We are starting at the very bottom. Now, before we open the first level, I want to be honest with you. Your time is the most valuable asset you own. You could spend 10 hours reading every page of this book, or you could spend the next few minutes mastering the crux of it. What we've done here isn't a long, time-consuming summary that just schemes the surface. We have distilled 24 principles into their purest, most potent form. Think of this as the essence of Carnegie's wisdom. No fluff, no filler. Just the high-octane strategies you can use the moment this video ends. We've done the heavy lifting so you can focus on the growth. So, take a breath, clear your mind, and let's get into the DNA of human connection. Level 1. The foundation, principles 1 to 5. Before you can influence anyone, you have to stop unintentionally pushing them away. Most people sabotage their relationships before they even open their mouths. Principle number 1. Stop kicking the beehive. Carnegie's first rule is simple. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Think of criticism like a homing pigeon. It always returns home. When you tell someone they're wrong, they don't think, "Oh, thank you for correcting me." They think of a way to strike back. If you want to gather honey, stop kicking the hive. Principle number 2, become a good finder. In a world full of people pointing out what's wrong, be the one who notices what's right. This isn't about fake flattery. People can smell a lie from a mile away. It's about sincere appreciation. Everyone you meet is better than you at something. Find that thing and tell them. Principle number 3, the strawberry rule. When you go fishing, you don't use strawberries as bait just because you like them. You use worms because that's what the fish wants. Stop talking about what you want. Start talking about what they want. If you can show someone how your idea helps them achieve their goals, you will have the world at your feet. Principle number 4, the curiosity shift. You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming genuinely interested in others than you can in 2 years try and get others interested in you. The secret? Stop trying to be interesting. Start being interested. Ask the questions no one else asks. Principle number 5, the universal signal, the smile. It sounds basic, but your face is a billboard. A genuine, warm smile says, "I like you. You make me happy. I am glad to see you." It is the shortest distance between 2 strangers. Take a moment right now. Think of one person in your life you've been criticizing lately. What would happen if you applied the strawberry rule to them tomorrow? Level 1 is now set. But how do you go from being liked to being unforgettable? That is level 2, the magnet, and we're moving there next. Level 2, the magnet, principles 6 to 9. Now that your foundation is solid, it's time to become a magnet. This level is about the first 10 minutes of a conversation. It's about making the other person feel like they're the only person in the world. Principle number 6, the sweetest sound in the world. Carnegie says that a person's name is, to that person, the sweetest and most important sound in any language. The deep dive. Why? Because our name is our identity. When you remember and use someone's name, you're giving them a subtle, powerful compliment. You are saying, "You are unique to me." The pro tip: don't just hear a name and forget it. Repeat it back immediately. Say, "It's a pleasure to meet you, Sarah." Write it down later if you have to. If you remember a name that everyone else forgot, you've already won. Principle number 7, the active mirror. Be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about themselves. The deep dive. Most people aren't listening. They are just waiting for their turn to speak. Active listening is different. It's about listening with your eyes and your energy. The visual. Imagine you are a mirror. If they share success, reflect their excitement. If they share a struggle, reflect their concern. When you let someone talk about their favorite subject, themselves, they will walk away thinking you are the best conversationalist they've ever met, even if you barely said a word. Principle number 8, the shared horizon. Talk in terms of the other person's interests. The deep dive. This goes deeper than the strawberry rule. This is about doing your homework. If you're meeting a CEO who loves sailing, don't talk about your golf game. Ask about the wind and the water. The secret: when you speak a person's language, their hobbies, their kids, their dreams, you bypass their logical brain and go straight to their heart. You aren't a stranger anymore. You're a kindred spirit. Principle number 9, the pedestal effect. Make the other person feel important, and do it sincerely. The deep dive. This is the golden rule of human relations. Every human being you meet feels superior to you in some way. The secret to connection is letting them know that you recognize their importance. The how-to. It's not about acting small. It's about being big enough to lift others up. Notice the small things, the way they handle the difficult phone call, or the effort they put into their appearance. When you put someone on a pedestal, they will almost always reach down to pull you up with them. Pause and reflect. Think about the most charismatic person you know. Do they talk about themselves, or do they make you feel like the star? Being a magnet isn't about your energy. It's about the energy you give to others. But what happens when things get difficult? What do you do when someone disagrees with you? That is where we go next. Level 3, the diplomat. Level 3, the diplomat, principles 10 to 15. Welcome to the most difficult stage of human connection. Level 1 was your mindset. Level 2 was your charm. But level 3 is your armor. This is where we learn how to handle the heat of a disagreement without burning the bridge down. Principle number 10, the exit ramp. The only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. The deep dive. Most of us have been taught that winning means having the last word or proving the other person wrong. But Carnegie teaches us that if you win an argument, you actually lose. Why? Because you wounded the other person's pride. You've made them feel inferior. They might stay silent, but they will resent you. A diplomat knows that 90% of arguments are just two egos crashing into each other. The moment you feel the temperature rise, look for the exit ramp. Silence isn't defeat. It's a strategic withdrawal. Principle number 11, the respect filter. Show respect for the other person's opinions. Never say, "You're wrong." The deep dive. Telling someone they're wrong is like a direct physical blow to their intelligence and self-respect. It shuts down the logical brain and activates the fight or flight response. Even if they're mathematically, factually wrong, never use those words. Instead, use a softer filter. Say, "I may be wrong, I frequently am, but let's look at the facts together." By admitting you might be wrong first, you make it safe for them to admit they might be wrong, too. Principle number 12, The mirror of truth. If you are wrong, admit it quickly and emphatically. The deep dive. There's a strange kind of magic in admitting you messed up. Most people spend their energy making excuses, which makes the other person want to attack. But when you say, I was wrong, I'm sorry, the other person's only logical move is to be generous and forgiving. It takes the wind out of their sails. It transforms you from a target into a human being. In a world of finger-pointing, the person who takes responsibility is the one who holds the power. Principle number 13, the friendly front. Begin in a friendly way. The deep dive. If you walk into a room with your fists clenched, the other person will clench theirs. If you start a difficult conversation with a smile and a soft tone, it's much harder for the other person to be aggressive. This is called the sun and the wind theory. The wind tried to blow the man's coat off and failed. The sun simply shone warmly, and the man took his coat off himself. Gentleness and friendliness are always stronger than fury and force. Principle number 14, the yes momentum. Get the other person saying yes, yes immediately. The deep dive. This is a Socratic method. When you start conversation, don't begin with the things you disagree on. Begin by emphasizing the things you both agree on. Keep emphasizing that you are both striving for the same end. Every yes you get is a psychological brick in a wall of agreement. Once that wall is built, it's much harder for the other person to say no when you finally reach the difficult part of the discussion. Principle number 15, the open floor. Let the other person do a great deal of the talking. The deep dive. Most people, when trying to win others to their way of thinking, do too much of the talking themselves. Let the other people talk themselves out. They know more about their business and problems than you do. Ask them questions. Let them finish. Even if you disagree, do not interrupt. If you interrupt, they will stop listening to you and start rehearsing their rebuttal. If you let them empty their cup, they will finally have room to listen to what you have to say. I want you to pause and think about the last time you were in a heated debate. Did you use any of these principles? Or did you try to crush the opposition? How would that situation have ended differently if you had used principle 12 or 15? Let's continue. Being a diplomat isn't about being weak. It's about being so controlled and so wise that you can guide a storm into a calm harbor. But how do we move from just handling people to actually building something with them? That is level 4, the architect. Level 4, the architect. Principle 16 to 21. We have reached the stage of the architect. At this level, you aren't just avoiding fights or making friends. You are building trust and moving people toward a shared vision. These 6 principles are the tools you use to bridge the gap between your way and their way. Principle number 16, the seed planting. Let the other person feel that the idea is his or hers. The deep dive. No one likes to be sold to, but everyone loves to buy. When you force your idea on someone, they feel managed. But when you plant a seed, perhaps by asking a leading question, and let them come to the conclusion, they will defend that idea as if it were their own child. You don't need the credit. You need the result. An architect knows that the most powerful ideas are the ones people think they discovered themselves. Principle number 17, the perspective shift. Try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. The deep dive. This is the master key of human relations. Most of us look at the world through a keyhole, our own needs, our own ego. But a leader stops and asks, why is this person acting this way? What are they afraid of? What do they value? There's a reason why the other man thinks and acts as he does. Ferret out that reason, and you hold the key to his actions and perhaps to his personality. Principle number 18, the empathy bridge. Be sympathetic with the other person's ideas and desires. The deep dive. There's a magic phrase that can stop arguments, eliminate ill feeling, and create a listening ear. That phrase is, I don't blame you one bit for feeling as you do. If I were you, I would undoubtedly feel just as you do. The secret: 3/4 of the people you meet are hungering and thirsting for sympathy. Give it to them, and they will love you for it. Empathy isn't agreeing. It's acknowledging their reality. Principle number 19, the higher road. Appeal to the nobler motives. The deep dive. Most people have 2 reasons for doing anything. One that sounds good and a real one. Carnegie teaches us to assume the person wants to be noble, honest, and fair. If you treat someone as if they are a person of high integrity, they will often act that way just to prove you right. Give them a reputation to live up to, and they will move mountains to keep it. Principle number 20, the visual story. Dramatize your ideas. The deep dive. In a world of endless data and noise, the truth isn't enough. The truth has to be made vivid, interesting, and dramatic. You have to use showmanship. If you're talking about a slow process, don't just show a chart. Show a picture of a snail. If you want to show how much money is being wasted, don't say a number. Talk about literal piles of cash being thrown away. Make your ideas visual in the listener's mind. Principle number 21, the game changer. Throw down a challenge. The deep dive. When nothing else works, appeal to desire to excel. Every successful person loves the game, the chance for self-expression, the chance to prove their worth. This isn't about a competition that creates losers. It's about a challenge that creates winners. It's the desire to be better today than we were yesterday. Just pause. Close your eyes for a second. Think about a goal you're working toward. Who is one person you need on your side to make it happen? Which of these 6 tools, the seed planting or the higher road, will you use the next time you speak to them? You are no longer just a participant in your social life. You are the architect of it. But there is one final level, the hardest one of all. How do you correct people? How do you lead them when they fail? That is level 5, the leader. Level 5, the leader, principles 22 to 24. We have reached the summit. Level 5, the leader. True leadership isn't about having a title or a corner office. It's about how you behave when things go wrong. Most people use their power to crush others when they make a mistake. A Carnegie leader uses their power to lift them back up. Principle number 22, the soft entry. Begin with praise and honest appreciation. The deep dive, think of this as a social anesthesia. Before a dentist starts the hard work, they numb the area. If you must find fault, start by talking about what the person is doing right. When you lead with genuine praise, you lower their defenses. They become more open to your feedback because they feel valued, not attacked. You aren't just a critic, you're a coach. Principle number 23, the indirect side door. Call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. The deep dive, many people start with praise but then use the word but. For example, you did a great job but you messed up the report. The moment they hear, but the praise feels like a lie. The pro tip, change that but to an. Try. You did a great job on this. And if we apply that same detail to the next report, it'll be perfect. Or simply lead by example. Don't point a finger. Point the way. By being indirect, you allow the other person to realize their mistake on their own, which protects their dignity. Principle number 24, the vulnerability lead. Talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. The deep dive. Nothing bridges a gap between a leader and a follower faster than vulnerability. It is much easier to listen to a list of your faults if the person speaking admits they aren't perfect either. Say, I remember when I first started, I made this exact same mistake. By sharing your own scars, you show them that failure isn't final. It's just a lesson. You become a mentor they want to follow rather than a boss they have to obey. We have covered all 24 laws, from the foundation of your mindset to the heights of leadership. But here's the truth that most people miss. Information without application is just noise. You can watch this video 10 times, But if you don't use these tools, that invisible wall between you and your dream life will stay exactly where it is. Here's my challenge to you for the next 7 days. Don't try to master all 24 laws at once. Just pick one. Maybe tomorrow you'll focus on Principle 6 and use every person's name you speak to. Maybe you'll focus on Principle 1 and go a full 24 hours without a single complaint. Watch how the world responds to you. Watch how doors that were previously locked begin to swing open. Because when you connect to win, everybody wins. You have the source code. Now, go out there and build something beautiful. So this has been your blueprint for human connection. If this deep dive added value to your journey, hit that subscribe button and join our community of growth. I'll see you in the next one.